Good morning, student. Today we will discuss about Faraday law of electrolysis. For this, we must have to remember what is electrolysis and what is current. So, students, let's come to our topic, that is Faraday law of electrolysis. In this, we have to discuss about the two law of Faraday in heading, that is first law and second law. So, students, what is electrolysis? Firstly, we have to know. Suppose there is a compound, suppose this is water molecule. So what happened? The decomposition of water can be done by passing electric current. Then its molecules can be decomposed into its constituent particle. Okay, this is what we call electrolysis. Okay, and as we know about electrolytic cell, that is, it is the cell which converts electrical energy into chemical energy. That is, here non-spontaneous reaction performed. Okay, generally we cannot decompose water, as you see in your daily life also. So to decompose it, we need electric current. That is, here what happened, this is a kind of electrolytic cell where electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Now students, let's talk about current. So current is simply the charge per unit time. Okay, current is simply what? It is charge per unit time. So now student, now you can understood better about the Faraday's law of electricity. Discussing about first law. So mass liberated at cathode or anode, or you can say at any electrode, during electrolysis is directly proportional to quantity of electricity passing through electrolytic cell. Okay, suppose there is an electrolytic cell and here are the electrodes. So the amount of current which we are passing to this electrodes, okay, will be directly proportional to the mass liberated at cathode or anode. Okay, what we are saying, just try to understand it by equation. That is, from here we can conclude that W is directly proportional to Q. W, that is the mass liberated at cathode or anode, and Q is the quantity of electricity, or you can say directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passing through electrolytic cell. From here, removing the proportionality, we can get a proportionality constant, that is W is equal to ZQ, where Z is the electrochemical equivalence of substance liberated at an electrode, that may be cathode, that may be anode. So from here, putting the value of Q, that is, we get W is equal to ZIT. As you know, I is equal to Q by T. Okay, so we can get Q is equal to IT. Then students, what happen here, putting the value W is equal to ZIT. Now students, when here I is equal to current, T is equal to time. So if charge of 1 coulomb having current of 1 ampere and time duration is 1 second, then for this type of reaction W is equal to Z. Okay, this is the very first law of electrolysis. So now we can tell that electrochemical equivalence of substance is equal to mass liberated at electrode during electrolysis when 1 ampere current is passed for 1 second into electrolytic cell. Look here what we are saying, the electrochemical equivalence of substance is equal to the electric current. Okay, what we can say, the is equal to the mass liberated at electrode during electrolysis when we can see 1 ampere of current is passing per second of time. Okay, so this is the very first law of Faraday. And this, talking about second law, Faraday's second law. So here what is happening, when some quantity of electricity is passed in two solution of electrolyte kept separately in electrolytic cell, the ratio of mass deposit or liberated at electrode, that may be anode or cathode, is equal to the ratio of their equivalent weight. Here we are talking about the ratio. So here, suppose we are discussing that there are two different electrolytic solution. Okay, there are two different electrolytic solutions. So for this, what will happen, you can assume from the first law of that W is equal to E. Okay, so for this, what we can write, for first electrolyte W1 is W1 and for second W2. So this is the ratio for masses, and this is the ratio for E1 by E2, that is electrochemical equivalence. So we can write here that W1 by W2 is equal to E1 by E2, or we can say that gram equivalent of one substance is equal to gram equivalent of second substance. Okay, then student, from first law, as we know, W1 is equal to Z1Q or W2 is equal to Z2Q. We can relate this. So first, from second law, as we are getting the ratio, that is W1 by W2 is equal to E1 by E2. So by putting the value of W1 here, we get Z1Q upon Z2Q is equal to E1 by E2, putting values of W1 and W2. Now we can write as it can also be written as Z1 by Z2 is equal to E1 by E2, or it will also can be written as E2 by G2 is equal to E1 upon Z1. From here we can conclude that E is directly proportional to Z. Then what will happen? E is equal to Fz. Here F, okay, this F is very important. It is the Faraday number, or you can say this is a constant, that is a Faraday constant, and its value is 96500 coulomb. How we can assume that this value is 96500 coulomb? So now let's talk here. Suppose the students, charge on 1 mole of electron. Okay, if discussing about charge on 1 mole of electron, so as we know, charge of electron is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Then 1 mole of electron is equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So total charge, or you can say that charge on 1 mole of electron will be equal to, putting the values, 1 mole is equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, and charge of electron is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power 19 coulomb. So equating that, multiplying that, we get 9.6472 into 10 to the power 4. Okay, then it becomes 96472 coulomb, or it is nearly equal to 96500 coulomb. So for 1 Faraday we are getting the value, that is charge on 1 mole of electron is called 1 Faraday. So here sometimes in 1 mark question it may be asked what is 1 Faraday. So 1 Faraday is nothing, simply a charge on 1 mole of electron. Okay, and this is represented by it is represented by F, sorry, it is represented by F, and its value is 96500 coulomb, as earlier also you have seen this. Now students, let's talk about some numerical questions which are asked from the Faraday law of application, because its application is very important. So for this, suppose there is a general reaction here. Simply what is happening, Na plus is gaining electron and forming Na. So for this, suppose firstly we have to talk about the moles of the reacting species. So as here is Na plus, it is 1 mole, electron is also 1 mole, and Na is also 1 mole. So for this, charge on 1 mole Na plus is equal to charge on 1 mole electron. Both are equal, so it will be equal to 1 Faraday. So for this, the electricity required to discharge 1 mole Na plus is equal to 1 Faraday. From here we can conclude that how much electricity should be passed into a solution or into a compound to dissociate it into its ion. So to dissociate, or electricity required to discharge 1 mole Na plus is equal to 1 Faraday. Now student, let's see some more question. Here you can see Zn2 plus 2 electron is converting into Zn. Here Zn plus has 1 mole, 2 electrons are considering 2 mole, and Zn is 1 mole. So for this you can directly locate that charge on 1 mole Zn plus is equal to charge on 2 mole of electron. So here we will get 2 Faraday. Okay, also electricity required to discharge 1 mole of Zn plus is 2 Faraday. So these are simple numerical questions which you have to solve. Now let's talk about the third. Here Al3 plus 3 electron is giving Al. So here the Al3 plus is comprising of 1 mole and 3 electron, that is 3 mole, and Al is equal to 1 mole. So charge on 1 mole Al3 plus will be equal to charge on 3 mole of electron. You can see it from the reaction here. So for this, the Faraday will be 3 Faraday. Or you can say that electricity required to discharge 1 mole of Al3 plus is equal to 3 Faraday. Now students, we can get a general equation, that is if there is a Mn plus, okay, then and it is gaining electron and converting into its ground state, then what is basically happening here, we can directly correlate it with that electricity required to discharge 1 mole of Mn mn plus, that may be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus, will be equal to n Faraday. That is, from the above equation you can see, if, let me remove, if Zn 2 plus, so here n plus is 2 plus, is reacting with 2 electrons, so here n is 2, so it will be equal to 1 mole Mn plus is n Faraday. So as you can see, here is the simple mole, but talking about aluminium, see the case of aluminium, what is basically happening here, it is reacting with the 3 mole, so Nf will be equal to 3F. okay, this is all about today's lecture, that is Faraday law of electrolysis. For this you have to correlate the electrolysis also, and also about the current, then you also have to know about the electrolytic cell. okay, remember the arrangement of electrolytic cell. So here we have discussed from very first law, where we have seen that Z is the electrochemical equivalence and W will be equal to Z, that is mass liberated at cathode during electrolysis is directly proportional to quantity of electricity, or you can say that electrochemical equivalence. Now we have talked about the second law of Faraday. Here we have seen that the ratio will be equal, or from this equation we can conclude that E is equal to Fz. F is the Faraday number. okay, that is 96. Faraday's number is 96500 coulomb. And we have also seen that how to derive this charge. So charge on 1 mole of electron, for this we have to consider about the charge of electron, that is 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Then we have to discuss about the mole of electron, that is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, and equating them or multiplying them, we get the value, that is 96, similarly equal to 96500 coulomb. We are not taking 472 because for calculating numericals it will be not easier, so we have converted it to nearly equal to 96500 coulomb. So this is all about today's lecture. Thank you.